What's up, guys? It's Broman. This is episode 11 of Ask Broman. Super happy to share it with you. We had our first guest. It is incredible. His name is BigCheeseKIT. I hope that you all listen to this one. There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of motivation, and a lot of really incredible honesty from BigCheeseKIT and all of our guests. Check it out. I know you're going to love it. It is November 21st. And we've got a lot of cool stuff going on today. We have our first guest on Twitch and Twitter and a lot of other places. He is known as BigCheeseKIT. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, or afternoon, or nighttime, or
it is more.
It's morning for us, but who knows when people are listening? Who knows what time it'll be?
Correct.
I'm used to people yelling at me for saying the wrong time. Because I'm on the internet and people live everywhere and forget time zones exist, but that's besides the point. So if you're new to this, welcome to Ask Broman. This is where it's a call-in show. This is where people come in, they can call and ask questions right here live, and we will discuss them. But before we get into that, the reason that I wanted to have Big Cheese on the show was about, I'm gonna say a couple weeks ago, I was just talking about hard work and motivating yourself. And someone in chat had mentioned, like, oh, yeah, well, like, I have X situation and it's worse than yours. And I was explaining that, you know, everybody starts at a different place in life. It doesn't mean you should give up. And then you shared something about your life in chat that I thought was incredible. Do you know what you said? Do you remember?
Let me check my memory banks. Well, as far as replying to the individual that was speaking about, you know, struggle and poverty, you know, I grew up in that, and I, surpassed that as well, because I didn't let poverty stop me from reaching greatness for myself. And, you know, me being the individual that I am, I'm always dedicated and determined to make sure I do the best that I can so I can survive, because I've been on my own since I was 16 years old. So with me seeing the world as a teenager, you know, it was harder than anything else I've experienced in my life. You know, being homeless and trying to learn things on my own to now being at the level that I'm at now, I feel like anybody can be able to achieve their goal if they put their mind and their heart to it.
Absolutely. So were you homeless at 16?
Well, I was homeless at 16. I was homeless when I was a kid. I was homeless as a grown-up. So 3 stages of my life, I've been at that level. And
that's unreal.
I just got to the point where I was like, I'm just tired of it. You know, I'm tired of living that factor of, you know, I'm a statistic. I didn't want to be a statistic. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to take this step to do something for myself, to dedicate, you know, myself to learning new things and going back to school and getting my degree, getting my certifications, and, you know, starting with an average job and then working towards my career. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I did.
That's incredible. So, like, that's that's nuts. Like the lowest place I've been in my life, I've always had a home, but I've had it got to the point where it was like 60 hours a week overtime, barely able to pay my rent, and I was like selling my blood plasma for food. Because that was like the only way to get extra income. Did you ever spend any lovely time at the blood plasma donation center?
I'm like Goku. I hate needles.
You hate needles? Okay.
I despise needles. And at that time, I didn't even know about it. I was like, okay, you can give blood for money? When? I was going to be like Marlon Wayans on Senseless, like just going in and out.
Yeah.
With different hats on.
I know what you're talking about. Holy shit.
But, you know, at that time, I didn't know much of it because, you know, I was young, trying to do something, you know, for myself. And I didn't think like, okay, hey, I can give blood and get money. I didn't think like that. I was like, okay, I'm going to do whatever I can. Okay, I'm going to cut grass. I'm going to learn how to cut hair. You know, I'm going to wash some windows. I'm going to wash some cars. You know, I will do whatever it takes to make sure that I become successful and people see my work ethic.
And so...
what?
That's fucking, keep going. Finish what you're saying. That's nuts.
Oh, and that's what it was. It was like, okay, I started washing cars. I started, you know, cleaning houses. I started, you know, mowing lawns and doing the hard work that most people, feel like it's too much to do. Like people think it's too
below
much
them or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to work at McDonald's. I don't want to be a delivery boy. I don't want to flip burgers. You got to understand, people that started flipping burgers is now the CEO, COO, or of their own company, of their own business. They have to start somewhere.
Absolutely. That's such a good, that's such an incredible mindset. The thing that you said in the middle of that really got me, I don't know, I really focused in on, you said like you wanted to do all this stuff to prove to other people and to prove to yourself like that you have value. Like you could do whatever it was that was necessary to get by, and you were still going to do it well, even if it's something else that someone would consider beneath them. And I think that's just such a huge part of success. Everybody's got their shit to deal with. I couldn't imagine going through what you went through. My other question is, was there a moment, like a thing that happened, or like a moment of failure, or like a pain point that really made you say, like, fuck this, I need to get out?
Whew.
If you're comfortable with sharing it, if it's,
I'm comfortable. I'm in a lazy boy. I'm comfortable.
Okay.
So, as far as what made me say, fuck this shit, I'm out. I was dating, an ex back then, and my brother was trying to use her car to go make a move.
Okay.
And I had denied it because, that's her car. And if he gets caught, she doesn't have a car. She can't go back to where she was. She came all the way from Brandon to come see me in St. Pete. So that's like a 40-mile drive.
Yeah.
And I denied him of using the car. So he was like, if you wasn't my brother, I'd shoot the shit out you. And I was like, well, if you're going to do that, go ahead and do it, because I'm not going to run for no bitch. So we started fighting.
Okay.
And he swung on me, he hit me, but I was trying to hold him like, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. And then, I had this incredible Hulk strength, and I almost threw him out the window, but I stopped myself. So he was like halfway through the window, but I pulled him back in. And that's when he pulled his gun on me.
Holy shit.
And that was in front of my niece and my nephew. So I was like, my own brother would do this to me. I can only imagine what can happen to somebody in the streets. So that's why I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm getting out of St. Pete. I'm going to move to Tampa. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get my shit together, because that moment right there lets me know I don't belong here. I know I can do better than this. I'm not going to be here and suffer for, all this stuff here. So I just got the hell out.
That's incredible. First of all, like, thank you for sharing that. That's like obviously a painful memory on like so many levels. But so what took you from that moment to eventually ending up like on Twitch as a partner? And you do a ton of shit.
Yeah.
So like what went on from there to bring you like to Twitch and to everything else that you do?
Well, what's crazy is I've been creating content since like 2005, 2006. And I didn't really get fully into it until I got my own apartment. I got my own apartment, that was when, like, okay, I'm going to learn how to stream or record gameplay, put it up on YouTube, or I'm going to talk about this system and do this. If anybody remembers Chad Warden from the YouTube days, the PS Triple, I was the one that went into the debate with him, started the whole console war thing. It was pretty hilarious. But then after that, I became more viral when I made a parody called Give Me That Bacon, which went on to G4 TV's Web Soup and Attack of the Show and Comedy Central's Tosh.0. That was my breaking point.
Holy shit. I didn't know you were on Tosh.0. I'm learning things.
Yeah, like
that's awesome.
I was at work when this happened. I was like, wait, what? And like I just seen like a bunch of comments come from YouTube like, dude, I just saw you on G4. Dude, I just saw you on Comedy Central. I was like, man, stop lying to me. Do not do this to me right now. So I took a personal break and I checked. I was like, holy shit, I'm on YouTube.
Yeah.
So like, I can't believe like this is really happening right now. And I was like, okay, I can't stop with just one parody. I gotta make another. I gotta make another. And that's what I kept doing, was just kept making parodies. They kept going viral to the point that Krispy Kreme saw my my video for their their company. I made a parody to Krispy Kreme called Krispy Kreme by Just a Dream Nelly. And I was contacted by Krispy Kreme, and I have 2 advertisement deals with them.
Holy crap.
So it was like, okay, I got what? An advertisement deal with Krispy Kreme?
Yeah.
You mean free donuts and money? Yeah, I'm good.
That is unreal. So I got a follow-up question to that. So you started making this content and you started like doing stuff and you're having fun, you're making YouTube videos, and then that shit blows up.
Right.
Did you have a structure in place before that, or were you like in full-on scramble mode, like shit? Like I gotta fucking like get this, oh god damn it. Like, or were you ready for it?
Well, to be honest, I'm never prepared for anything.
Same.
I don't expect anything to come my way, or I don't expect anything to be like, hey, this is my status and I'm going to get viral. This is what I'm going to do. This is my level. No, it's like, this is some random shit. Like,
yeah,
what just happened? I don't know what just happened. Okay, this it just went from 8,000 views to 800,000. Okay, what the hell just happened? What is this? And that's when I learned about viral.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this just became viral.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, I see my niche. I see what I can do. Now I can do gaming. I can do parodies. I can do what I love doing. But the problem was I didn't know anything about partnerships then.
Mm-hmm.
And I also didn't know anything about streaming then. That was like around 2009, 2009.
That'd be
so
real early in the live streaming like game.
Right.
Like that's so early on.
Right. So when it was Justin.tv, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, how the hell do I stream? What the hell is all this? Man, look, I'm just going back to creating content. I'm just going to put it up on YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing. So I made my name, and I didn't go back until like 2-3 years later. And then I started streaming on Twitch. So I was like, okay, now I'm getting used to it. Now I'm getting comfortable to where I know what I'm doing with streaming. And I just kept going because it seems like I can entertain anybody, any person in any planet. That's right, any planet, because there's aliens out there.
I agree completely. Aliens are coming to fuck our shit up. I don't have a good opinion of aliens. We can talk about that later.
But no, I just feel like, you know, when I started streaming, it was like, okay, I love gaming to the core. I've been gaming since birth. Like, I came out of my mom's womb with a controller. So I can game and be happy and entertain others. Why not do it?
Yeah. Like,
you know, why not do something that makes you happy? And that was something that I you know, placed for myself was, this is therapy for me too. So, you know, if I have a bad day, I come home and I game.
Yeah. Like, gaming was a huge therapy for me. Like, that was it was always my release valve for like all the bullshit that I would have to deal with. Because you know, I always had bullshit ass jobs as well. Like, I never made more than minimum wage ever my whole life. Right. So, and like that include, like, I worked in food service. I worked in a psychiatric hospital where I got, like, you know, spit on by people. I got, you know, bit and attacked by like patients who had, like, you know, really infectious diseases. Like I got bit by someone who had AIDS. That was fun. You know, 5 years of following up on that, and I'm clear. But like, that's how long it takes. Like, one moment in my dead end ass job, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, I could legitimately like have HIV now because I got bit by like someone who is infectious. You know, so there's like some shit, right? And like all these jobs that I had, like that, for me, like that particular moment was like a catalyst for me getting out of all the, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I need to do, but I can't do this anymore. Like there isn't enough money in the world for me to like put myself and the people I love through that level of stress and risk again. You know, because it like, there's like, that's not worth the money. Like, there's certain stuff in your life that motivates you to change. So that was, but you know, when I would go through situations like that, gaming was always like a gateway, like a way out. So of my, like, you know, locked up mental state where I'm just stressed out and worrying. And then when I found Twitch, I was like, oh shit, like this is exactly what, like, it's a digital version of everybody sitting on the couch, you know, talking shit and playing video games together. You know, and it reminded me of when I was in college. I was like, oh my God. So like, I can just make a place where every single day is like, you know, hanging out with my buddies and talking shit, playing Street Fighter. So
Right.
that's what got me started on Twitch. Another thing I want to ask you, since you brought it up, did you make any really big mistakes when you were coming up with management? Like, did you make a bad deal and like, did you get burned by that, or did you like get lucky and avoid it?
Yes. There was a couple of times I made mistakes and ended up paying for it. You know, as far as one of them I can think of, like I said, I'm in the IT field. You know, I got my certifications in Microsoft, CompTIA, etc. Got my associates.
And you still do that stuff on the side, or
that's my full.
That's your primary. Okay.
Yeah, that's my primary. So, you know, I am around computers all the time, and what companies do is they recycle new computers. And when I say new, like they're not even 3-4 years old. They're like literally 1-2 years old, and they replace the computers. They recycle them. So what I did on my part, I talked to the recycle people like, man, you know, give me 10 of those computers. You know, I can use them. I can be able to get them to somebody that needs them.
Yeah.
So on that note, I don't know if you know Rich of Review Tech USA.
I don't.
Okay. So he is a very popular YouTuber.
Gotcha.
And
I'm not super versed in the YouTube space still. I'm trying to learn, but yeah.
Right. So he was requesting for some computers because he didn't have any to edit or to, you know, create content. So I said, you know what, I'll send it your way. All I ask for in return is, you know, just promote my YouTube channel, and that's that. And with that being said, you know, that was the promotion, et cetera, et cetera. Wasn't no contract involved. Bad business, number one.
Yeah.
The second thing was he wanted another computer. So I was like, okay, if you want to get a laptop, then that's going to be different. Or if you want to get a desktop, that's going to be different.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have to, you know, send me some money so therefore I can be able to build this and send it your way. So the thing was, you know, since I already did business with him, the bad business, number one, I sent it to him before he paid out. So he had a bad day and decided to take it out on me and didn't want to pay me.
That's rough.
And the thing is, you know, I don't like doing bad business with people. I believe to be a very good businessman, and I always stick to what I say is true.
Yeah.
So, you know, I made a video saying don't do business with this guy because he's bad for business. He's not, you know, sticking to his guns. So that led to a lot of drama, a lot of people getting involved that didn't need to be involved. People getting doxxed, people getting, almost getting
Internet's
swatted.
nasty, man. Holy shit.
Yeah. So that's why I felt like that was bad business, because that did more harm to me than good. Yeah. And, you know, ever since that occurred, Rich went from 250,000 to almost 1 million subscribers within that time frame.
Gotcha.
I was like, and I went from 6 to 15K. I'm like, well, what the hell am I doing wrong? Do I need to scam somebody? But I was like, no, because that's not how I work. Yeah. I'm always true to myself, and I'm always going to be honest. And if you're around here scamming people and doing people wrong, it's going to come back to you.
It's true.
Granted, the next day he paid me, but people just got themselves involved into something they had no business being involved in. And do I regret making the video? 50-50, because I felt like, you know, it was wrong. And then at the same time, none of this would have occurred if I made that video.
True. That's one of the, you know, like I've been in similar situations where I've been in a business deal and, you know, like an understood business deal, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this for you and you're gonna do this for me, and there's no contract, right? And, you know, I've been burned, you know, like that, like not that bad, but, some of my friends have. And it's one of the hardest parts is just like any business, like YouTube or anything, there's always going to be people who are frustrating to work with. And sometimes your level of success can be dictated by like how much you can, you know, eat shit and say like, okay, well, I did this and this person fucked me over. And so I'm just going to have to like ignore it, or I'm going to have to speak out. And if I speak out, I need to be ready to deal with all this other bullshit that's going to come along with it.
Right. And I think that's what the problem was. I wasn't ready to deal with the aftermath. It was like, okay, this happened. I just wanted to speak my mind on it, but I wasn't ready to, all of that feedback that was coming. It was like, wow, this is way too much. And I didn't expect for people to try to threaten my life or try to dox me or, stuff like that. It's like, well,
shit gets fucked up real quick.
Right. So it's like, this just got really real. So that's what made me sit back and be like, you know what, man, just, I try to keep it gaming, but people take it personal. And I never understood that. It's like, how are you going to take things personal? It's not you, it's me. But this is the world that we live in. So that's something I have to deal with. Yeah,
it is it is always tough when you're doing business with people and it just doesn't pan out. I always one of my biggest recommendations for anybody in the space is that if you can handle it without it going public, it's usually the best thing you can do.
Right.
Because all that shit you just talked about, that's what happens when other people get involved because they don't know the whole context. They're just going to pick sides. They're not going to give a shit about everything that actually happened. They just want to fight because people
they want to be involved. Like, I don't care who wins. I just want to be involved.
Yeah, I just want to be here. Yeah, exactly. So it's important to take a step back and evaluate. This is a good warning story for anybody to try and handle your business instead of putting it out there because it's hard to deal with in the long term. But you still managed to do all right. You're still doing all right.
Yeah, I'm still sexy, so I ain't worrying about nothing.
Yeah. All right. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else that came up while you were talking. Oh, no, I got exploded. Anything that came up while you were talking, and I can't. So let's grab some people and see what kind of questions they got. And we'll just get right into it. Let me see if there's anybody that's been bugging me on Twitter. Let's get this guy. His name's Dot Funky or R. Dot Funky. I don't know. I wonder if that's a smell thing or a sound thing. If he's funky or if he's got, I don't know. So if you're listening right now and you're like, what the hell is going? Oh, hello, Dot Funky.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, what's up?
What's up, bro, man? How you doing, brother?
I don't know, man. Not much. Just hanging out, shooting the shit, talking, learning. What can me and Big Cheese do for you?
Well, it's kind of like this, right? So, I'm fairly new, and I've been watching the Ask Broman here for a little bit. You mentioned on the last show that, if you come in and you have high quality stuff and gear and everything else, that you kind of look a little pretentious. And it kind of concerns me a little bit
You can.
I'm a musician, right?
Sure.
So in IRL, right, I have a lot of musical gear, including this beautiful microphone that I use and the audio rig that I'm using. And, I get a little bit concerned because I am just starting out and okay, great. I have nice stuff, but I don't want to come off as a pretentious douche as I'm trying to, you know what I mean?
I think
you got to be careful, right?
Yeah.
So how do you kind of balance the idea that, okay, yeah, I've got good gear, but it's only because I did this other stuff before I ever really considered streaming. How do you, where does that line draw for you or any of your viewers really? For that matter?
We got, you want to go first?
You go ahead.
All right, cool. So my thoughts are this. I did say that, but the thing that's more important than anything else is authenticity. If you have all of this other stuff from your life beforehand, right? Because you're a musician, because you have all this other really great high quality stuff that's just part of you and your life. That is, that's going to be, it's going to come off differently than somebody who's like, I just spent 10 grand on all this equipment and I don't know how to use it. There's a big difference between just having high quality and trying to force it, if that makes sense. It's like a fine line, but if you have all this stuff and you have all these things organically, I don't think that's going to make you come off as a pretentious douche. People you have a narrative behind all that stuff. Oh, I noticed you have a really good microphone and you just started broadcasting. Did you buy that for this? Oh no, I'm a musician. Oh shit, you're a musician. What do you play? It turns into an organic growth experience for you and the people who are watching you, because it is so much of a part of who you are. It's part of your cell. Things that have a story like that make you seem more authentic. They want people to be more engaged. Basically, if you've got any story other than, oh, I just bought this to stream, it's a chance for people to connect with you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for sure. I got concerned, right? Because I've been doing it for a little bit. I do it as a hobby, right? I'm not like a full on kind of right at this stage, because I'm a little bit of an older guy than probably most streamers are these days.
Well, how old are you?
I get it. That's cool. I am 41.
Oh, nice.
You're not old. You're experienced.
Yeah, well, that's right. I'm experienced. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? But it's a little bit older than most folks that kind of stream video games these days. But I mean, I love it, right? I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I have a good time doing it. Right. So I guess the only other question I have, really, and thank you for that, because I really do appreciate the information and the knowledge that you're sharing here. This is just beautiful. I'm so glad that you do this. It's more of a technical question. So I have this nice gear, I have a nice setup and everything else, but what ends up coming out on Twitch is kind of, I lose the quality of the microphone.
Sure.
I'm losing a lot of gain, I guess you could say, on the signal coming out on Twitch, and I'm kind of curious how you get over that. I mean, it looks like you're using a nice microphone yourself.
Yeah.
It's like a BP40, isn't it, or something like that?
I'm using an Electro Voice RE20, and then I have a DBX preamp. It's a 286S, and then that goes into a Mackie Pro FX12, which is USB output to OBS. So my follow-up question is what is your gear?
Sure. I have a Shure SM7B into a cloud lifter, into a PreSonus Tube V2.
So you have a cloud lifter, and you're having problems with it coming across. What broadcasting software do you use?
OBS. That's
really weird. And then are you outputting via like a USB mixer?
Yeah. So, no, and I have a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 that I output through, but I also put the signal through a compressor and an EQ and all that stuff, right? Because that's all part of
software compressor and EQ.
No hardware.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: as far as the OBS, are you using the latest version of it?
Yeah. I'm using OBS Studio.
Right. So they had an update like a week or so ago. Are you using that one?
Yes.
Okay, I would recommend going to the older version before you update it, because there's been a lot of issues going on with the latest OBS Studio, where it's messing with the audio and also the capture cards as far as delaying the stream. So if you're able to go back to the OBS before you update it, you should be fine as far as your audio, and you should be able to add gain to your audio as well, as far as a filter for the microphone.
Yep.
Try
that
out as well. Yeah, I did add gain to as a filter in OBS, and it didn't even really do anything for me. And it's weird. It's like when I watch the video. So if I record a physical video from OBS, it sounds fine. Everything's good. But if I do like an audio test on stream when I'm streaming, and I have my buddy come in, I'm like, hey, dude, take a listen to this and tell me what you think. And he's like, yeah, you're there. I can hear you, but man, you're just like quiet. And I'm like, I'm pegging out my audio interface here. Every time I talk, I get, red lights telling me this thing is it's
peaking.
It's maxed out. I shouldn't be driving any more gain to this thing. So I'm kind of at a little bit of a loss. And this was happening even before I upgraded to the latest version.
There's there's a couple things that I'd have you check out. In addition to like rolling back, which is always a good idea, especially with new stuff. I only update OBS once I hear stuff on Twitter that's like, hey, this update's great. It actually works. And I'm like, okay, now I can update.
For sure.
But the other thing that you could definitely do is you can check whatever is like digitizing your signal. Okay. Like whatever that microphone line in is, you should definitely go into your software properties, and you should check that to make sure that it's outputting at like 100%. Because some devices, when they get into your system, what they'll do is they'll like attenuate themselves on purpose. So they'll scale back, and instead of receiving 100% of the signal, they'll turn themselves down to 10%.
That
was a problem I was having.
I saw it can do that with what it's called audio ducking in Windows 10. Beautiful Windows 10. And I did shut that off, and it's nothing is doing it right. It's like I try to add the gain, and then I'm blowing it up, and then I don't know. I'm struggling with it. But these are all good things. I'll try to roll back the version of OBS and see if that helps a little bit.
Yeah.
That's definitely something to look at. But yeah, I mean, it's been very informative. So I thank you guys both.
Anytime, dude. There's a lot of people in chat that are now addicted to your problem. You can see them in there like, is he doing this? Well, is he doing this? So I would recommend getting back in there and getting some more advice for yourself. So you'll have the full scope of like absolutely everything that you could try.
Great chat, bro, man.
Hey, man.
You have a great chat.
Also, check your advanced properties as well as far as the exclusive mode. Make sure that both the checks are unchecked as far as allow applications to take exclusive control and exclusive mode applications priority. Make sure that they are unchecked because that will also make sure that's unchecked because that will give issues as well to where like the microphone will drop or your program will have more control over the volume than you do. So you want to uncheck both of them.
Aha. I have both of those checked.
All right, so uncheck both of them.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, send me a link to your stream. I want to check you out. If you got that awesome microphone that I've been trying to get for like 80 years. But no, I definitely want to check you out.
Cool.
Yeah. Shout out. Yeah. Now is the time when you promote your shit. So.
Oh shit! Promote my shit.
Promote your shit.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it. So if you guys want to check me out, I do appreciate it. I'm on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment. I just had spine surgery last week, believe it or not. So,
oh my God.
I'll be back this coming Monday. But you can check me out here on Twitch. It's /r.funky, just like my name. And that's really all I got going on right now.
All right, man. Well, you got to get on all the other social media platforms too.
Yeah, well, I have a
just
YouTube.
The general advice I give everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't used it because it's like, I'm not really doing anything for serious yet. I'm just kind of having fun and doing the thing for the time being. But of course, everybody aspires to have more viewers and stuff. So, I mean, this is obviously.
It can also help you in like a more traditional job sense as well. Like your social reach is going to become infinitely more valuable. And it used to be called networking, right?
Right.
Like you had to walk around, you had to network with people and like actually shake their hand. And now all that shit's done online. So that the more of a network you can build online, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to have more opportunity open up to you. So I just want to see you be as successful as possible, bro.
Oh, man, I love you for that, brother. I do, man. You are the best. So I'm on Twitter, Twitch, same thing, r.funky. You can find me on YouTube as well, although there's nothing there yet.
All right, man. You have a good day.
Thanks a lot, man. You too. Thanks, Big Cheese. Appreciate the information, bro.
Yeah, you're most welcome, man. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, dude, I was like, that's the first time we've had an audio question on the podcast, which is hilarious. Audio is such a pain in the ass. Like everything else about your stream, you could probably set up within 2 hours, but audio, I can take the rest of your life.
Because you got to go through the testing and you got to record to see how it sounds. Is the voice over the game properly? Can you hear me? So it's a lot of issues with testing out your stream as far as the audio for the microphone.
Yeah, I
hate it.
It is such a pain in the ass. That is why. And listen, if you're a broadcaster out there, if you make any kind of content, everybody just assumes audio is the simple shit, like you talk in the microphone and it works, and they're all going to rage at you if it's wrong. There's a reason why people get degrees in audio engineering. That is because the shit is hard. And be patient with yourself and be patient with them. You don't need to flip off and burn any bridges. Okay, just everybody relax. I've had some hellacious experiences with audio. I changed my microphone for a sponsored thing for a little while. Because I liked the product for everyone else. And even though it wasn't the best application for me, that was probably contractually, that's a contract I regret. I was like, man, I really wish there just wasn't a way to properly frame it because of how live audiences are constantly circling in and out. So the only thing, people didn't get the message, I think this is an awesome purchase for you when you're starting. All they hear is Broman, you don't sound as good as you used to sound. So what the fuck's wrong and why do you hate me? It didn't come off the way I wanted it to, no matter how hard I tried. But we eventually worked it out, but it took 3 months,
why did you abandon me?
Why'd you abandon me? How dare you lower the quality of your stream? Exactly. All this shit. It was a rough time, man. I was I was unhappy.
I mean, you're sitting here, you're like, okay, I got a brand new microphone, but when you stream,
it kind of sounds like this.
You don't want
that. Exactly. All right, let's get this Hamchan guy. This looks, I like the name. I want to learn more. Hello, Hampchan.
Oh, hey, I wasn't expecting this.
Oh, you weren't? Well, get fucked.
I was on Twitter.
You've been on Twitter and like, oh, you were just watching Twitter, or you've been pestering me on Twitter?
I was just scrolling. No, I was just scrolling on
just
Twitter.
Hanging out. Okay, I feel you.
Yeah, so it's Hampchin. However you want to pronounce it, though, that's fine.
Hampchin. No, Hampchin. That's good. I wanted to learn. So, what can we do for you, man? What's your question?
Give me a second. I'm like super nervous right now.
Oh, that's cool. Compose yourself. You're among friends.
I'm still nervous.
Everyone here is really nice, unless you're stupid, and then we'll make fun of you endlessly. It'll be the worst.
So I don't really have a question, but like your opinion on something.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like really big into the Crucible in Destiny.
Gotcha. Okay, so we got a Destiny question.
But like,
that's good.
So I'm not like, like real crafty kind of level of good, but I think I'm pretty good at the game. And one of the problems I have is like I can't really play the game for like hours on end for streaming and all that jazz.
Sure.
So I had this idea of I wanted to put on a show called Crucible Clinic.
Go on.
So basically what it was is I would have people in my chat like send me like their Twitch highlights of a game they played.
Yeah.
And we would sit there on stream and I would dissect the game like piece by piece and show them like what maybe they could have done better in this situation, or like what like if they should have backed off, like maybe like use their barricade or something like that.
Yeah.
So basically it's just like coaching them, but it's different than like just sending somebody your gameplay and asking them to help you do like what's better, because there would be like some interaction there and like they get to see it in almost real time too. So if they have any like specific questions about it, we can just go back and watch that part again kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And like I hadn't seen anybody else do it like on Twitch, so I was like, I need to get in on this.
There are some people that do coaching, like Wish You Luck does coaching,
I haven't
and
seen
things
that.
like that. No, I mean here's the thing, and this actually brought me back to some of the things we were talking about at the very beginning, is that it doesn't matter how big someone is that's doing something. Like you can do it in your own unique way, because no one, like there are very few people on this planet where everybody knows your name. So like, yeah, there might be some people who will come and tell you like, oh, so-and-so does this. That's cool. I'm doing it. And like, as long as there's a need, your presence isn't stupid or poorly placed. Like,
okay.
You can have like, there are people who have millions and millions of YouTube subs and I have no idea who they are. And this is my job. Like you could consider those people peers and I don't know who they are, because there's just so many people creating content. So, obviously, since this podcast was spawned from an idea of everybody's got questions about stuff about broadcasting and getting started and journey and all this like motivation, whatever. And I started doing it because I felt like I couldn't find anything in the gaming space that was doing that. So if you're passionate about that, there's no reason why it wouldn't work out. That actually sounds like a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a combo, because not only are you communicating with your viewers, but you're actually watching their content and giving them feedback. Yeah. A lot of people in the YouTube world or Twitch world or Mixer or whatever you create content on don't give feedback to their viewers or don't even talk to them.
It's true.
So
it's very true.
It's kind of a rare thing to see. They're like, hey, let me check out your content. And, I'll give you some pointers of what could have been done. So therefore, when you go into your next match, you know exactly what to do when this situation happens again.
Yeah. Another reason I wanted to do that is because like, obviously like I've only been streaming for like 2-3 weeks.
Cool.
I'm trying, but I have to take, I have to go on vacation too. So it's like 3 days without streaming. I'm like, what am I going to do?
Yeah. That's good. It's a good feeling.
But, so like one of the problems I encountered is like I would get like, you know, lurkers would come in the stream, they'd stay for like 5 minutes and then they'd leave and like they would never say anything. I'm like, well, I'm not entertaining by myself. I want to have like that communication with somebody. So like, you know, so I figured that like this idea might be a good way to like get people to actually like talk in the stream. Like, you know, maybe we're discussing a certain play and like other people in the chat will be like, oh, you know what might have worked in this situation if you had done it this way. And like, I never thought of that. That's a great idea.
No, I mean, finding ways to hack like attention and drive out conversation is huge. I always tell people if you want folks to start talking in your chat, talk about food,
Anime.
Or talk about anime. People, everybody on Twitch, like it's a shared market. Everybody on Twitch likes anime, like
food
and it. Like it's just it's you know, you can talk about that shit. You talk about anything that is like a core human need is going to go over well. I find that food and anime go over best on Twitch. The other thing that's really smart about your idea, going back to Big Cheese's point about interacting, is that because you're interacting with your viewership on such a detailed level, it provides like growing value for your channel. And you're building yourself an advertising force for your channel. Oh, shit. Like, why are you so good at Crucible? Oh, I was hanging out with Hampton and he, you know, he took the time to like look over some of my footage and sort of help me correct some of my mistakes. Oh, shit. Well, I want to check him out, too. And so slowly over time, you're going to be building this, you know, army of passive advertising for what you're doing. So it's good in a lot of ways. I think that it's so important to continuously interact with your audience, no matter how big you are. A lot of people get big and think that suddenly they're too important to share their time with people, which is some hot garbage. It's trash. The more you can focus down, no matter what size, like what kind of reach you have, the more you can focus down and have a one-on-one interaction. Like that's just going to keep providing this exponentially growing value to you and everything that you do. So I like your idea a lot.
All right. Thank you. I do have one more thing to ask, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you feel like the way it's going to be kind of weird to explain this, the way a streamer, like their voice sounds, do you think that impacts like people's ability to watch a stream? And I'm not talking about like quality. I'm talking about like just the natural tone of voice they have.
Yeah.
So something like this?
Yeah. Like that. I think that a lot of people get self-conscious about their voice.
Yeah.
And you need to realize that your voice is your voice. And even if you don't like it, it's still like yours. Like you can't change it. And it's leverage. Like, okay, you don't have a buttery smooth voice, but you have if you feel like your voice is grating, or if you feel like your voice is too high pitched, like whatever you don't like about your voice, those are characteristics that make it stand out, which make you more recognizable. So you can look at it like a negative, or you can look at it like an asset. And I think that you should look at everything that you have, whether it's a strength or a deficiency, as a person, like holistically. You should look at all that stuff and realize that everything is leverage that can play in your favor, instead of focusing on how it's detracting from potential success.
Okay.
All right. Well, I have a question for you, Hampton, because you were saying that you don't have time to stream for hours. So
well, it wasn't that I don't have time to stream for hours. It's that I find it hard to play PvP like nonstop for hours.
Nonstop. Okay. So as far as a time frame of doing PvP, do you feel like when you play PvP or when you do any game in particular, do you feel like you would get bored quick and then stop streaming, or is it something else?
It honestly, it depends. So it depends on like my mood, because I've been trying to I used to get like really ragey at video games, and I don't like that. So basically what happens now is like if I find myself like start to get, angry at like the games I'm playing and stuff like that, I'll tend to just call it for the day kind of thing.
Yeah. I definitely understand that. Prevent myself from breaking a desk or a keyboard or controller.
Yeah. I've gotten much better about it. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Right. So, I mean, that's how I was. A little while ago. Good thing these was IKEA desks. They don't really cost much. But I definitely understand what you're saying as far as like raging. It's something like if you get too mad, it's like, okay, take a breather, walk off, get a drink of water, do some push-ups or something, and then go back to it. But if it comes to a point where you are really raging, then just call it a night for the night.
Yeah.
Learning how to turn off it's huge. Because everything about our space online says that you just need to push through and you need to always be online, but taking time for your mental sanity and to make sure you always put on the best show is absolutely huge. I'm glad you brought that up.
Everybody has a trigger button. Everybody has one.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if it comes to a point where like, I'm triggered, you just get it off.
Yep.
Dude, swords. I hate swords. I hate them so much.
But they're the best. And the more you put yourself in that situation and you learn how to take yourself out before it gets bad, the quicker you're going to be able to like teach yourself strategies that are like, okay, well, when I'm feeling this way, I can do this, and then I won't be as mad and stuff. So it's a really good way to get yourself into like a positive feedback loop to improve your content. So yeah, that's what we got. Hampshin, shout your shit out.
It's Hampshin on basically everything. My Twitter isn't really active right now. I need to start pushing when I go live and stuff on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't know how to spell Hampshin, it's capital HAMPCHON. Just look for the cute little dog. That's me.
All right. All right. I love it, man. Thank you very much for calling in and asking your question, man. You have a good day.
Thank you, guys. You too.
I like that guy. He was nice. He had good ideas. I think a lot of people, discount the value of teaching. You know what I mean?
Teaching is what got me where I'm at now. I learned from other people. Hell, I learned from you.
That's nice. That's really nice. But like, right? Like, and like, you feel positively towards those people. Like, I feel positively towards anybody that ever took time out of their day to try and help my ass. Right. When I was learning, one of the biggest things I've done in my life with Guardian Con and like raising all this money and setting things up to raise money for St. Jude, like I wouldn't have been equipped to do that if two people who didn't know who the hell I was back in like 2015 at AGDQ would have took the time to answer literally every question I had while I was at that event. Why are you doing things this way? Why are you doing things this way? Why is this set up this way? Like I had so many questions, and instead of being like, I'm busy, I don't have time for you, I'm running $1 million charity event, they like sat down with me and explained shit. And I am eternally thankful for that. And in the long term, like if either one of those dudes ever needed anything from me, I would be there instantly.
Just call my name.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
You know, you apologize. I was like, exactly. That's teaching, guys. It's actually a great way to get your content out there. Everyone always wants to learn and nobody wants to talk about it. Right.
For an example, if you make tutorials on, anything, people will watch, especially if you have a common interest.
Yep.
So like the OBS situation, chat was popping when that question was asked because everybody's having a similar issue with that. Yeah. So if you have any resolution for that, trust me, people will come if you know what to do to resolve it.
It always breaks my heart. Oh my God. Like I know you've seen this. It always breaks my heart when I'm experiencing an issue and then I Google it and the first thing that comes up is this awesome resolution video and it's got like 200,000 views and the guy, like that's the only video they ever made. And I'm like, no, like you had a chance, man. Like you could have kept making this shit but you just made this one and you're like, all right, I'm done. And now you
just stopped.
You got this 1 million viewed video and you could have built like a channel off of it, little passive income or whatever, making 1 or 2 resolution videos a week and you just gave up. It breaks my soul.
Cause like that's just potential wasted. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, hey, thank you for the video. Do you have any more? Like, yeah, I have more. Stick around.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is the video?
Yeah, you gotta have. But like, if you get a thing like that, if you find a resolution, you put it out there. Make sure you follow up because if you don't, you'll be really sad about it. And I don't want you to be sad. All right, let's grab this person right here. This is Crucial Catalyst. Hello.
What's going on?
Oh, hey,
Usually
not much, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So how goes it?
It goes great, man. Now, your voice sounds familiar. Have we had you on before? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, if you want to get somebody that
you have been on here before?
Yeah.
Repeat.
Like
That's fine, bro. I understand you want some more advice, but yeah, we're gonna help out somebody that we haven't talked to.
Go ahead.
All right, bro. I told you guys, no repeats. It's fine. It's okay. We'll do a follow-up episode. We will do a follow-up episode where we can like go back and readdress any questions.
We still love you, Crucial. We
yeah,
love
like
you.
no hate, not at all. But we want to help the new people. Let's get this guy. This is 2 Switch. Or Switch 2. No, it's 2 Switch. 2 Switch.
You have two switches.
2 and then Switch. Yeah, we still love you, bud. I gotta like plan I gotta plan out that like when are we gonna do follow-ups situation. Hey, 2 Switch, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys? How you doing?
It's great. When am I gonna learn to turn people down when they get in here? I'm a dumbass.
Oh gosh.
No, you're fine,
Sorry,
dude.
I didn't realize it was that loud.
No, it's my dumbass. What can we do for you?
I actually Broman, to hear how you got Guardian started. How that kind of came into fruition. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, all right. So if you're listening and you don't know, I'm one of the 3 founding members of Guardian Con, which is a charity gaming convention that we have in Tampa. So this year it's July 13th and 14th, and tickets are on sale and all that shill stuff. But
I'll be there.
I'm excited. I'm gonna give you a big ass hug. So far we've raised $1.8 million over 2 years for St. Jude. But the original event got started because my friend and one of the co-founders of the event, King Gathalion, or Corey, we were going to do a meetup with like 4 people in a bar here in Tampa. One person was traveling from the UK, and she just happened to be coming through town. So we're like, let's do a meetup. And then more people were like, oh, well, I know so-and-so's there. Can I come? And we said, sure. So that scaled up to about 42 people showing up, 42 different, broadcasters and YouTubers showing up at the event. And then suddenly we had 1,000 people show up in a bar that had a 500 person capacity. People were waiting outside in the rain.
Wow.
They were coming through and taking pictures and stuff, and it was crazy. So that was our resolution video, right? That was the surprise moment that had a lot of attention. So we came back with it next year, and we thought, we should try and do this again, but formalize it, because 1,000 people showed up. And they really didn't have the best possible time, so we need to make sure that they can have the most amazing time next year. So we started planning. Luckily, one of our friends was an event planner, so Kevin had the opportunity to start working with all these people in Florida to set the event up, and then we just rolled from there. So that's how it got started. Did you have a specific follow-up on that? Like any particular aspect of what we do that you're curious about?
No. So just kind of for my channel, one of those things that I had to think about really deeply was why I was doing this. And
Sure.
One of the things that really hits close to home is, the fact that you guys do the St. Jude donation is like, okay, well, that kind of impacted how I want to look at my channel as well.
Sure.
And the domestic abuse and violence thing, that hits home really hard. So it's like, okay, so how can I get something started? Not to, I don't know, directly steal an idea or anything, but
steal away, man. If it's for charity,
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yeah, that's where I was going with it. Was like, how can I incorporate the charity event for something like this? That's basically where I was.
So
because again, it's really hard for home.
Cool. So do you have a charity in mind that you want to work with?
No, this was just something that within the last day, I was like, this is something that I've been thinking about, because I've been listening to the Ask Broman podcast while I was at work, and it was like, okay, this is something I really need to think hard about.
All right, so I got two pieces of advice for you. One, if you want to start streaming on Twitch and your goal is charity, you need to be selfish first. Okay, which means you need to like grow your channel, grow your reach, get out there and get as big as you possibly can. I've seen so many well-intentioned people start channels on Twitch, and the sole purpose of them doing things is charity. And they burn out really quick, or it kind of doesn't really go anywhere, because the whole channel is always about giving and asking all the time. And it becomes more about the charity than it is about entertainment. So my first piece of advice is to grow your channel organically like you usually would, focus on entertainment, all that other stuff, or whatever you do that provides value. And then the second thing is, especially since the charities that you'd want to work with are sort of a hot button topic for a lot of people, and there's a lot of things that are wrapped up in domestic abuse, you need to vet your charity incredibly carefully, so that when you get out there and you decide to represent them, you actually get to go out there and you get to do fundraising instead of doing PR work for them. That's one of the reasons why we picked St. Jude. There were a lot of charities that were on the table, but my job as the charity director for that was to make sure we selected something that passed like the internet test, which means that if someone hears about the charity, they are going to be able to find that charity and learn about what that charity's mission is, or they'll already know what it is. So we can just focus on raising money. Because I've been involved in some charity events in the past where it was for a really specific disease, and then you just spend time telling people what the disease is, which has value in and of itself, but providing the most value to the charity involves putting yourself in a situation where you can not only educate but raise money. Those things are really binary to me, like that it's one or the other. You either need to run your charity campaign as an education campaign with if someone wants to donate, they can, so your focus isn't going to be on donations. It's going to be on educating what the charity's about. Or you need to run it as a donation drive, which means that education side of things needs to be done already.
Okay.
So those would be my two big pieces of advice for getting started. From my end, you have any thoughts, Big Cheese?
Well, that hits home for me too. So I definitely understand where you're coming from as far as abuse. But if you, like he said, if you want to begin doing that, you have to be selfish. You have to network and get your channel up there first before doing charity events as far as streaming. But I feel like everybody has an opportunity to do something as far as charity streams. It depends on what you're going for. You're doing this because it hits heavy, hits home for you very heavily, and I understand that. Now the question is, is this going to be a bi-yearly thing, a bi-monthly thing? Like, how often do you plan on, doing a charity stream as far as domestic abuse?
Right. Okay. Because that was just something that, like I said, I mean, I had to think, and of course, being selfish, getting that channel growth first is something that I had intended on doing, but at the same time, I wanted to hear your opinion of how Guardian Con got started, so that I have a base of where I need to start.
Sure. So on the charity side of things, it was a lot of learning and watching and learning. Guardian Con was it wasn't the first big event that I did. Like, I made a couple online events before that, so I knew. I knew what I did wrong, and because I had done those things, I got to avoid them in the future. So be prepared to make some mistakes, but as much as you can, try and avoid them by like looking at other charity streams, seeing how they run things, seeing things that you do and don't like, things that you would improve upon, like educate yourself about how that works in the charity space, because it's all very new. There are not a lot of mentors, aside from like it's a small list, like myself, the guys that run the GDQ events, and then like the folks who run Play Live and the St. Jude Play Live, and then the Extra Life. And not everybody on that list is accessible.
Right.
So the best thing you can do is just pay attention and educate yourself. And if it's close to your heart, and if it's a charity that's important to you, that's one of the reasons why we picked St. Jude, along with the fact they already had really good name recognition. Be prepared to be incredibly honest about why it matters when you're doing fundraising, because that story, that story that you have, that's a connection between you and the mission of the charity you're representing, like that's where the magic is. That's when people connect and they want to give, because they can actually see the work that the charity does through your perspective.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's no secret. I mean, I won't go into too much detail, because I know time kind of conserving here. But yeah, stepdad at the time was very, very abusive. And I remember one specific, it never left my mind for some reason why this particular moment happened. I was unloading the dishwasher one day. This was, I don't know, 10 years ago. And my stepdad just, boom, right upside the head, back of the head, fucking knocked me unconscious. Like, what? And when I had come to, he's like, no, you loaded the dishwasher wrong.
Damn.
And it was like, what?
Yeah, that's rough.
So very, and more stories like that.
Sure.
But yeah, that was the most memorable, I think. But yeah, and I'll have to do the research for which charity go through.
And when you're ready to start fundraising or any of that stuff, hit me up. Like I want to make myself available as a resource. You can contact me via email, Twitter, Instagram, like whatever you want. I want to be there for you. The courage that you had to be able to share that. Just know that when you share things like that, it helps someone else. And the more comfortable you can get at telling your story, the more freedom that you can give to other people who are in the same situation, because you show that there's a way out. So thank you for sharing that.
A lot of courage.
Yeah, incredible amounts of courage. So to switch for now, what we can do is we can have you shout your stuff out and everyone can follow you. So that way you can start building the thing that you want to build.
Absolutely.
So let everybody know where you're at.
Absolutely. I would appreciate it. If you guys want to check me out, I'm actually on Mixer. So mixer.com/2switch. You can find me on every form of social media, Twitter, Facebook. I'm going to start a YouTube channel.
Do it.
But Twitter would by far be the easiest way to follow me.
Yeah. So to switch, feel free to post your link in chat. It is TWO Switch, guys. No numbers, no nothing. Follow this guy everywhere. He's got a good heart and he's got good intentions, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. Thank you so much, to switch.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What an incredible guy. I love when people want to I guess like take the same path. Charity's what got me involved on Twitch. Like that's what got me started on Twitch. The first thing I ever watched was a charity speedrunning marathon for Hurricane Sandy. And so that's like, it just warms my heart. It's awesome. And he's got an incredible goal. So I hope that
what he's doing is actually facing his fears now.
Yeah.
And that's an incredible thing. Like I've been dealing with that myself, and and able for me to surpass that, I had to face my fears, not only with the domestic abuse, but dealing with people that has harmed my family in any manner. So that's definitely something very courageous of to switch, and I give him props for that. I definitely want to check him out.
For sure. He is like, it's always amazing for me to see the vulnerability and courage that people are willing to share, like when they're trying to overcome stuff. So that's awesome. It's been, oh man, what a crazy episode. So we're going to wrap it up. We crossed the 1 hour mark, which is usually as long as we go. I would like to thank from the bottom of my heart, BigCheeseKIT, who has been an incredible guest.
Yeah.
Please share with everybody where they can find you on everywhere, even though you've already been on Tosh.0, which is probably
Well, first and foremost, like I said, I want to give a big thank you to you, Broman, for the opportunity. I truly appreciate it. Where you can find me, of course, on Twitch, twitch.tv/BigCheeseKIT, Twitter, BigCheeseKIT. You can check out my YouTube channel, which is BigCheeseVG. I'm pretty much Facebook/BigCheeseKIT. And like I said, I thank you guys, for allowing me to get my story out. I'm very humble, and I will take this experience and continue to press on with my journey.
It's been incredible having you, man. You are welcome back anytime. For sure.
I'm gonna cry in the car.
Oh, I don't want anyone to cry, but you've been an incredible guest, and your perspective on life, and your honesty is fucking incredible. So thank you very much, man.
You're welcome. Well, I do have one more thing to say.
Okay.
If you have a dream, don't let nobody stop you from reaching your dream, achieving your goals. Do what you love doing. Stream how you love to stream. Love who you want to love. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Couldn't say it better myself. I'm going to do a little outro here, but I will talk to you again soon. All right, man?
Yeah.
All right. Peace. Oh, guys. That was an incredible episode. Please go follow my incredibly wonderful guest today, BigCheeseKIT, KIT. I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate that you are listening today. Thank you for giving us any or all of your time today. We appreciate it immensely. If you're listening on iTunes or SoundCloud or Google Play or Stitcher, if you could rate the podcast, that would be incredible. If you could share it with your friends, that would be incredible. The goal is to provide as much positivity and uplift as we possibly can here to make your life better. Whether you make content or you work at McDonald's, it doesn't matter where you're at. It might not be where you want to be, and we want to be here to help you push forward to that. So thank you very much. Appreciate each and every one of you. You have fantastic evenings, and we'll catch you next time on Ask Broman. Peace.